we go with another Arena Premier Draft. I'm currently Diamond 3, heading for Mythic ASAP. Also a poet, I didn't even know it. Alright, what do we got? Extinction Event has been pretty strong. I've not actually played it, but it's definitely been good against me. Seems like pretty easy first pick. The uncommons are all solid here. These are the best two commons. Nothing's going to take me away from the funky little wrath here. Okay. So these black cards are not super exciting. Flame Spill is quite good. Also, the Farfinder has been very, very impressive. It's you end up splashing a lot in this format, partially because of Farfinder. It's an excellent mutate target. It's excellent thing to sacrifice with Bushmeat Poacher if you want. My inclination is to take Flame Spill, but Farfinder's not that far behind. Dragon Stinger's also quite good. Yeah, let's try and be non-committal and take something that's always going to make the deck. Almost always, anyway. So this pack is not amazing. Kind of wish I'd taken the Flame Spell, because Momentum Rumbler is quite strong as well. And then Naturalist and Frostlinks and Orc. I don't really like the Orc Horde. I like these two white commons better. I'm going to take the Momentum Rumbler. Okay. Okay, red is definitely open. I like Fire Prophecy a ton. This is just so good. I'm going to take the Fire Prophecy. Passing that Bastion of Remembrance isn't amazing, but that. Okay. So I think I'm going to take the Dragon's Stinger. There's some reasonable black cards here. Potentially, for getting this that late, the really kind of busted red-white cycling deck is open. So I'm seeing good red cards, but not good white cards. So how do I feel between Prickly Marmoset? Marmoset's a little bit, and so this is more spell, or sorry, more cycling, and this is more of the spells. They kind of go, they don't go. I don't know. I think I'll probably take the Wolverine, just because even with the, if you're in the cycling deck, it's not that hard to get 3 instants and sorceries in your graveyard. Okay. So I like these blue cards a good bit. I'm going to probably take one of them over the Forbidden Friendship, which is fine. Pelican Glider, which is fine. But Mystic Subdual, I think, is slightly better than Essence Scatter. If we get enough blue-red spells, I think that spell in the graveyard could be a thing. Alright, I'll take the Scatter. We get past the Subdual. Interesting. Also, oh wow. These are really good cards, in the white cards. And also this would be fine in the red-white cycling deck. I'm going to take the Splinter Mare. Not sure that that's actually better than the one-man cycler. Oh my god. This is so good. Okay, so we're going to be red, hopefully red-white cycling. Looks like red-white cycling to me. Also, we had the option of another white mana cycle. Interesting. So, despite trying to stay open, this Farfinder, it's not necessarily a card you actually play in red-white cycling, because you want to be just a little bit more devoted to the cycling mechanic. You could do it, and splashing this extinction event is still a very real possibility. So, but red-white cycling, you're not mutating much, if any. So. Yeah, pretty easy to take one mana cycler. So we haven't really yet seen much in the way of the good payoffs for red-white cycling. I guess there's some chance we would want the turtle. Yeah, probably doesn't matter. I'm just going to take the higher rarity card. So what we're looking for is probably number one is Zenith Flare. You can just like dome people for 10, gain 10 life. Oh man. So Kolga is a real big bomb. Also, Dora, the perfect pet, if we ended up blue-white, or sorry, in this spells deck, would be fantastic. Heartless Step is good, if not as good as it reads. It's much actually better in constructed. People end up with incidental counters in limited. And then we've got some pretty fine cards if we stay on plan. I feel like we just want to stay on plan and take the Gopher Blood. Is that right? I don't know if this is right or not, but I guess I'm taking Gopher Blood. Feels wrong. Okay. This is pretty good fixing for us. What are we passing that over? Not too much. Yeah. I like this card a lot, not necessarily in this deck. That would be okay. Yeah, we'll just take this land. It's actually perfect for us if we stay red-white, splashing Extinction Event. Also, it does cycle. Oh, Zenith Flare. Oh, baby. Yeah, this card is so ridiculous. So, this pack, I think it's going to seem odd, but I think I just want the starting development, just a 1-mana cycler to take. The Ferocious Tigerilla is a perfectly fine beatdown creature, but doesn't necessarily make the cut in the cycling deck. And it's hard to have too many 1-mana cyclers. Okay. I think in this spot I'm going to take the Stinger over the Tactician. Just, again, it's a 1-mana cycler. It's also a payoff for your cycling. So we can do that. In this pack, nothing cycles. I guess the Day Squad might, well, actually probably the Heightened Reflexes is a touch better. Lets us get in with our Drannith Stingers, and it's cheap enough it doesn't really make things too bad. Marshall wouldn't be the worst. Okay. I'm going to take the Rumbling Rock Slide. If the slide wasn't here, it'd be an awkward, awkward pick between a 2-mana cycler and Ferocious Tigerilla. That also the Bloodfell Caves wouldn't be a terrible idea. So I do still want to splash the Wrath here. Okay. Okay. This is not a great pack. I think I just take the 2-mana cycler. Hopefully we don't need to play a completely off-color 2-mana cycler, but you never know. Wow. Okay, looks like we're drying up our colors. There's another 2-mana cycler. Take that, I guess. And now there's a zillion white cards. It's kind of weird. I think I'm going to take the cycling card that can actually be cast. Okay, coordinated charge is pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead, let's put the land away, keep it in mind. So I'm going to separate out all my 1-mana cyclers and 2-mana cyclers. Okay, this is a 2-mana off-color cycler. Snare Tactician Wield, that's fantastic. 2-mana cycler, 2-mana cycler, 1-mana cycler. We're a little short on 1-mana cyclers, I feel like. Sort of development, instant scatter, you're not going to make the cut. Cycles for 2, and these all cycle for 1. Dolphin, go away. Okay, our set. I think I'm going to take the Narset. We only have to splash the blue. Did we? Yeah, the Triumph's not on color. That the Farfinder could still do it. Swallow Hole is fantastic removal, of course. I don't know if it's actually supposed to be the Narset. I think that's going to be just pure greed if I take it. Because it's not the most amazing one. I think I'm going to take the Swallow Hole, but I'm not sure what's correct as always. Okay, we got a dual land. I think it's time for us to take this Marmoset. Yeah. Or I could take the Crag and plan on wheeling one of these pretty close in value creatures. But, ooh, yes. Savai Thundermane, excellent payoff. Take that. Fighters 1's actually pretty good. And there's nothing else really for us. I'm just doing... In this deck, you have to kind of, you know, sometimes even if you're straight red-white, you're like, ooh, 1-mana cycler in blue, slam. So we'll take this Fighters 1. It's a really big blowout if you can get both a human and non-human creature for value. Okay, okay. Got this. So keep my things. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think I just want the land, honestly. Because you want to run a pretty low land count in this, because you can't flood, but you also need to be able to cast your spells. We'll take the land. 1-mana cycler. Gonna take that over a Spell Eater, which would be a fine card. This is coming together pretty well. It just looks like a 1-mana cycler, I think, over the Pyroceratops. Pyroceratops would be pretty reasonable in this so far. Oops. There we go. Yep. Okay. I guess I'm going to take the Skybonder. This is kind of a Windrake with upside. It's a little hard to cast. We may or may not actually have it in the cut. Definitely going to take the Vantasaur. The cyclers are amazing. So we probably have enough 1-mana cyclers that we can cut some of these off-color guys. Spell Eater Wolverine is definitely getting in there. Alright, I guess we'll take a Cathartic Reunion. Might not play that. This doesn't matter. I'm just going to take this because it says Mothra on it. Okay, got this back. That's pretty good. Yeah, so we can probably end up cutting the off-color 2-mana cyclers. No swap. Alright, so this of course messes up the arena mana because we have no intention of ever casting the Starline Development or Memory Leak. Although, so that's going to be a package of whether we want to run Farfinder, that, and one swamp. We don't want to run any of those. We don't want to run any of those. We can go ahead and cut the 2-mana green cyclers. We are going to need to run. Probably that's about right. It's either 13 or 14 lands. We'll see how that goes. You run so much fewer lands because you have so much cycling from one. So I'm going to separate all the 1-mana cyclers here to get a quick count. And I'm going to put the 2-mana cyclers here with the charge. I'm going through this. 1-mana cycle, cycle. 1-mana cycle, 2-mana cycler. This is also a 1-mana cycler, but the plan is to play this early, and if you draw it late, you probably cycle it late, depending on whether if you're getting just a little lightning helix action off of it or that. I think I'm going to run the Fight as 1, which takes away a 1-mana combat trick slot from Heightened Reflex, which is fine, but this is just better in most cases. So we've got, in this iteration, is that all? I guess that's probably fine. 4 cards that cycle for 2 mana and 10 cards that cycle for 1 mana. So that's pretty good. So if we just cut the splash and keep it straight up, this is, I guess, our deck, pretty much. Like, we might want the Heightened Reflexes over something a little more expensive, but I don't think so. We do want to run the Extinction events, plus that and that. It's, what would we be cutting? We'd be cutting like the Sky Bonder, which is not amazing. Cathartic Reunion, I kind of dislike this card in general, but I think in this deck it's a little bit better. Because even though we're going to be playing 13, 14 lands, you can still kind of flood out, and the value of your cards is it changes a lot based on how things are setting up. It is good for turning on our Spell Eaters. It does not unfortunately count as cycling per se, but it has a lot of the same functionality. And we're like, a lot of times, there's going to be a lot of times in the late game where we really want to dig to the Zenith Flare. So I think I'm gonna keep the Reunion. Also, the problem with this card is that the art on it looks like Forbidden Friendship, and I just always mix them up. So this is set up to be 13 lands. Could cut Skybonder's is definitely not amazing. I think that's the only card that flies in our deck. And it's hard to actually cut a card for this extinction event. I think I'm going to stay just on plan. The Skybonder. Could honestly run the Farfind now. We don't have any mutate. It's just a 1/1 that gets a land, which that will then want to throw away to the Cathartic Reading probably. Alright. So even with 13 lands, we still this is with effectively 2 dual lands. We still have an 8/7 mana base, which is not terrible. Yeah, in this deck, just a quick look. 14 creatures, 13 spells, 13 land. This is like old school 2020 days. Nice. Alright. Yep. Let's jam this, why don't we? Well, this is a hand we'll keep. No idea what the hand actually is, but we'll keep it. The plan is obviously to cycle the Memory Leak before the Poison Mana Source, because, well, actually, we could cast that. I guess it's more likely that we cast that than one of the Vanasaurs. Hopefully we just pull a Stinger on the top. That's not it. There is some chance we just want to cycle this away, honestly. Like, we've already got both our colors. It really comes down to whether or not we want to actually cast that. And I guess I could wait a turn on that. So I am going to cycle with Venusaur. Well, that gives us a turn 3 play. We've actually got 2 turn 3 plays, so we're probably going to cycle away the leak. The 4th land is definitely not that important when we're going to be doing the things that we're doing. So we'll do that. I think I'm going to cycle the leak. This has lifelink. I can never resist giving a Death Touch unless I'm, you know, at 3 life and I really need the life. I just want to be able to kill my stuff every time. Nothing else. Okay, these are not going fantastic. I guess I put Marmoset first. Pretty happy about that, honestly. So we're just going to swallow it whole. Whether we want to do that now, later, it's hard to say. I I think I do want to play this Sky Bonder, and then I'll make it a 3/3. I missed a land drop. And then we'll start just cycling away our stuff. Just make sure I'm doing this. They are at 25 left, so we do have a good bit of work to do, but we can definitely get some big chunks in. Nice. And they missed a land drop. Okay, let's just go ahead and cycle. Another land. It's not great. Ooh. I guess we just want to plan for casting the Vantage Sword next turn. I'll hold the Cycler there. Oh, yeah. I should have cycled the Triumph to get an extra point in. Or extra 2 points. Did I move into cleanup? Not yet. Alright. Oops. Yeah. Big boy. Come on, then. We have equal next turn, presumably, if they don't do anything. Which seems unfortunate that they are unable to do anything. More unfortunate for them than us. But not the most entertaining game. That's a crazy one there. Alright. So that's not amazing. Let's go ahead and cycle you for free. Do a removal spell? Okay. Yeah, that is. It was kind of close. But hold the land in case we draw Cathartic Reunion, but I don't think this game's going to last. Yeah. Okay, this hand is not great, but it cycles. We can Cathartic Reunion as needed if we don't draw a white source. See, the problem I've had in the past with this Cathartic Reunion is that it's usually pretty easy to identify one card you want to throw away. It's harder to identify 2 cards you just want to throw away. Like in this situation, I am going to cast it. And I'm perfectly fine throwing away the Fight as 1, and everything else I would kind of like to keep, honestly. If this was Tormenting Voice, I would prefer that. But I guess I'm just going to throw away the two white cards. Like we don't have any other cycler setups. So. Okay, and now we have to be Mana Screwed to Mana Flooded, like just like that, pretty much. They also on a cycling plan. Yeah, let's go ahead and start playing our threats. It's going to be awkward if they do that sort of thing. Hopefully this survives. Plan is definitely to cycle or triumph. Oh, another pacifism. That's rough. So we're gonna play, yeah. We'll play the Stinger. And probably cycle this Triumph on the instep. We will not be blocking. No blocks. Demolish. Resolves. And this can drop. Alright, so I'm going to attack hand. We've got a trick up. With 1 mana, they can't win this combat. And then, like, kind of, I don't know. Their threats aren't that amazing right now. I'm just gonna, let's make sure auto tap into this. Go ahead and cycle this charge. Dome them for 1. So we draw. This thing definitely has most right now, right? Yep. It's kind of annoying that their threats like aren't good enough for us to kill. But I guess that's probably what we're gonna do. Let me go ahead and cycle this Will of the Alt Hunter. Set. Why do you have such a warm fuzzy feeling? You're clearly extremely prickly. You are not warm and fuzzy. Okay. Very possible I should have just held that, and then the next turn was just. Okay. They were trying to sell a product I was not interested in. It's fine. Okay, so let's go ahead and cycle. Get rid of this Valiant Rescuer. Get our Helix on. External lands, not amazing. Do want to get in, sure. Yeah, I think we're safe to hold our removal. Potentially lethal next turn. It's gonna be awkward to die this turn. We could die this turn. If they have the Zenith Flare. That doesn't tell my face yet. I don't release it that much. And we're gonna keep plowing lanes. 13 man deck, which is unfortunate. Alright. So now I'm on the defensive. So we're gonna kill. I guess we're gonna kill this. I think I do want to put a +1/+1 counter on my Stinger so it can block. And then we're not attacking this turn. It's not a good situation. They're ahead on life total. Need to hit us for 6 next turn. I just need this Rock Slide to kill something better, potentially. And count. Has to die. I think we actually are just playing defense. Doesn't feel great. The good news is if we draw our own Zenith Flare, it probably just about wins the game on the spot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Only 6. Oh, that's a thing. Game of life. No attacks. See, this is the spot where if we had drawn our Cathartic Reunion now, it would be helpful. Okay. That does not deal with this. I guess we just cycle it. Yep, cycle deals them 2. Okay, at this point we do still have the option, since the Marmoset did trigger, we could fight this. Flying VG. It still doesn't really put us in a good spot. If we draw the Zenith Flare as one of our 12 remaining cards, we just win. Also, we can still cycle into it again. I think that's our best chance. This deck is silly sometimes. Long flare. Fire prophecy gives us another draw. Well, we'd be out of mana. We cycle that. Maybe we attack first. See how they block. No, well, I guess it doesn't really matter. Okay. Let's... That has to die too. I think we've run out of draws. No? So casting this doesn't get us anywhere. Now we find it. Yeah. Yeah. See, this will just go in for 12. Awkward game. But so it goes. Can still keep this. It's a little bit awkward. Maybe it could be a mulligan. I'm scared to mulligan an E2 lander with a 13 land deck. So. See, this is awkward because we're not playing in pod. And I think the way it's set up is that you end up drafting. Let's cycle you. So interesting. So we're definitely going to do something to try and hit our third land drop. I think we should probably go ahead and Fire Prophecy and try and think about what card we're going to throw away to do that. I guess it's going to be the Startling Development. It could honestly be... I think it's going to be the Will, because I just want to cycle, really. Awkward. We did hit a land. It's not the land we wanted, but we got it. I guess we're gonna play the Marmoset. Spell Leader's not on yet. It will be pretty soon, I imagine. Got a good block on board. Alright. So I'm trying to think about whether I want to just go ahead and kill the... I don't even know which one of these I want to kill the most, really. This could be quite scary. The Rescuer is good. The fact that they have Kira and it's actually pumping this guy is pretty annoying. I think I just want to cycle and then be able to play the Spell Eater Wolverine as a 3/2 double striker. That should handle things better. And the question is whether we want to go ahead and attack or not. The 3/2 double striker on board does hold them back. I think I don't. I think I want to play for the long game a little bit since we've got two really good payoffs here. Remove the spell. The Rescuer. And that could get ugly real quick. So this is a suicide attack on board. I'm trying to think of how badly things go. So what, they might have like the 3 mana cycle, put a first strike counter on your guy. That would be awkward. I'm gonna just give it no blocks. Okay, that's good. Yeah, we're definitely funding and immediately cycle for Helix value. I think one of the Rescuers. It's a little bit scary to try also. Do I want to attack first? I do kind of want to attack with at least the Marmoset. I think we're actually going to go ahead and attack with both of these. Well, the potential for them to get like really wide on us really fast is pretty annoying, but we'll compromise a little bit and just attack with the Marmoset. Cycle. I do want to hit one of the Rescuers, I think. Yeah, we do have that guy. So hopefully we don't like die this turn. So that would suck. And this is now 3/3 first strike VG. Yeah. If this mutates, things get awkward, but they're not terrible because the 3/3 double striker can still pretty much hold back their team, or at least force them to sacrifice a guy to get in there. Yeah, we're not gonna. We'll just take 3. That's. That makes things tricky. Alright, so I'm going to play this, gain a life, and rock slide one of their guys. I think it's just going to be the rescuer. Or actually, let me cycle pre-combat. So I guess I draw a different spell I'd rather use. Yeah, I don't think we're... Well, let's see what happens when we kill this rescuer. Not have another cycler. That's something. In that case, I will go ahead and attack with the mindset. We can trade these off, that's fine. Get in for 4. Gain a life. At this point we do want to hold this land for... no blocks, thank you. Okay. Alright, let's get our cycle on. Draw our own dino. I don't think they're going to block if this attacks. If they do block with that, we can Zenith Flare it. This is not great. We can in fact cycle again and see what we draw in that case. Let's attack. Okay, they chunk block, that's fine. Oops. Damage. This. I love it when the Vantasaur gets on the battlefield instead of just going to the graveyard. It's a wonderful game. We have no attacks, that is fantastic. So, do I want another Vantasaur on the battlefield, or do I just want to cycle? I guess I just want to put another Vantasaur on the battlefield. I'm not going to attack it this time. See how things develop. So I kind of want to kill this Kahira at some point because it's pumping so many of the other creatures. I think we're just going to pass. Deck's out first. We deck out first. I don't think it's going to come down to that, but we could. So much Vantasaur. I want to play the Rumbler, and I want to hold the land, and I want to leave up Zenith there. So... I guess we can just play this and pass to the end. Hopefully they don't attack this turn. We'll see. I guess things get awkward if this gets mutated. One time no attacks. Which this pump might be. Which looks like we're going to have to kill that at some point. I assume they still don't have great attacks. Like it's, if they just swing out, we can probably survive, block her, and kill them on the backswing. Okay. Do we want to cycle that now? I guess we do. I think I do want to cycle this. Yeah, let's just cycle. Let's see if we draw. I guess the Marmoset's probably getting out of this turn. Okay, go for blood. Okay, that's an actual good fight spell. We can go ahead and take down the Ikoria. Shrinks like their entire team. And then I guess the Marmoset gets in and probably gets chumped. This also does give them the option to trade it, but that's fine because it has to trade for something pretty decent. Just gang blocking here. Okay, we'll kill the 5/5. Well, Zenith Flare is not that far away from just killing them. Putting a lifelink counter on our stuff doesn't feel right. I'm trying to think of what our payoffs are. Like it's just these Ventasaurs are just hard to attack into. We could try. We can kind of make some momentum with the Rumblers and the Wolverine, but it's hard to actually win the game that way. So I think we're just going to cast this. Cast the turn. It is awkward that we do deck out before them. Okay, the Snare Tactician is good. So you want to... I don't know if we even want to expose that. Probably not. To potential removal. Also, we draw the... okay, things got real. That was not what we wanted to draw. Alright, in this case I'm going to play out the Snare Tactician. And pass it to them. See, hopefully we can... Okay. Oh, perfect. As long as we don't deck ourselves. Discard these 2 cards. Okay. So, looks like we want to fight as one, pump up our Rumbler, I guess. Exile... Honestly, exile the Tactician, right? Probably. And then play our Spell Eater. Oops, that's not the card I thought it was. That's the combat trick, not the exile thing. Okay then. Well, that's fine. So we'll just play out our Spell Eater. And pass the turn. We can probably cycle on their instep. Okay. Alright, well in that case I'll just go ahead and take my turn because I want to leave up the fight as one so my Spell Eater Wolverines don't get clobbered. It's a little bit of awkwardness. Yeah, we're cycling. Let's have down one of these big gnarly guys. Okay. Just attack with everybody. See what's... ask them what's up, basically. I think I'm on board with that. Let's get this hand. Alright. What's up, buddy? Coming at you. Okay, so they have chosen Chump on the Wolverines, and they're looking to eat the Splendor Mares and the Snare Tactician in combat. There is some question about whether I think I just want to kill the Snare Tactician, honestly, so I'll put that in front. And like if this just goes through as shown, I think I'm okay with that. So let's go ahead and pass priority through first strike damage, at least. Okay. And now we'll do this. Both modes. And save our Snare Tactician and our Momentum Rumbler. And it looks like they're just F6, but I'm going to go ahead and Zenith Flare them on their upkeep, just in case they have their own Zenith Flare I want to fire off. Bam! -2 to 28. Not close at all. It was pretty close. It was pretty close. Alright, just one moment. I'm going to grab a bit of water. Okay, I can get behind this. Keep this. I think we cycle this Gopher Blood first, just to try and power up our Wolverines and all that makes easy. Let's cycle this instead. Alright, let's cycle you right now in case we draw a tap land. Not draw a tap land. Go ahead and cast this and cast the turn. I think I'm going to go ahead and cycle this Vantasaur. Yeah, that's fine. Hole's nice. Alright, let's go ahead and get the Wolverines out. Got, what did I get? Death Touch. Okay. No blocks. This is awkward. So I really want to kill this. I'm going to swallow it whole. I just want to make my land drops. So what do I want to do? Do I want to... Also want to get up this other Wolverine. I think I'm going to let them get another counter on this and just hope it's not hexproof. And in that case, do I want to get out another Spell Leader Wolverine? I think I do. That's one. You know what, let's start with this cycle. Okay, we drew a tap land. Glad I did that. You know what, I'm gonna just do this one now. Oh, it only hits tapped creatures. That's awkward. Alright, in that case. Attack. Anticipate, that's fine. I think I'm going to cycle this Gopher Blood. You got flying, that's fine. kill that, sure. Let's cycle this. That's interesting. I'm going to Spell Eater Wolverine and Swallow Whole and Mecha Godzilla. So this 4/3 Double Striker is quite scary. They don't have removal. Master Winds. Okay. It's decent. I'd like to get some lands at some point. What do I want to do? This is awkward because we've got like 5 mana worth of stuff we want to play. I think we just play the Wolverine again. It's the most threatening. If they 5, this is also for 5. So if it takes 6, they're not dead to it next turn. It also plays a threat that should hold back the Coil Bug at least. Well, good news is they don't have anything left. Bad news is it looks like we're going to have to waste the Zenith Flare on the Soul Bonder just to not die. Yeah. That's an odd GG. So that puts us at 6 lands. Okay, so we can cast this Grumbler and Tolbert Fire Prophecy. Well, that explains the GG. Okay then. That was not actually a GG if we had another Zenith Flare, but we did not, so. Goes. Very peculiar you get tempoed out by the blue-black deck with the red-white cycler. It's a bit unusual. So it goes. Okay, this is fine. I guess we'll play this one first. There's a chance if we like we just draw land after this, we cycle this away. Or not. Okay, I think we're just gonna Fire Prophecy that. No, I'm on the Triome and Cycle. Yeah. Cycle. Start getting instants into the graveyard for this. Make their decision whether they're flying or first strike. Flying. Okay. Well, at this point, we can fire Prophecy this and actually get rid of the land, or we can start playing our own threats. So, assuming we get a land in our next 2 draw steps, we can Fire Prophecy this, and then the next turn we can Spell Eater Wolverine, and the same turn swallow whole one of their creatures. One of their tap creatures, which I guess would be the Collider. So let's get this. Let's cycle away the planes. Draw. And pass the turn, probably cycling Venusaur. Okay, that's a little bit awkward, but it's fine, I guess. So it's going to deal us basically 1 extra damage this turn, and gets back to Sabretooth. So 4/3 double striker is a very scary thing for them to deal with. Of course they can deal with it, but if they don't, it's hell on hell for them. And we've got more threats behind it. Life total isn't too bad. Whisper, sure. Discard this. Okay, well, we'll attack for 8. I think just play the Momentum Rumbler. Yeah. Rumble, rumble. Mamba. So if we draw land, we can Thunder Mane and Helix, which feels like a good thing to do. I assume it looks like they're going to try and chump block the Spell Eater this turn. What are we thinking about? Caesar. Okay. So that doesn't do anything. They missed a point of damage effectively that way. Okay. So I think in this spot I'm going to attack with just the Spell Eater Wolverine. I can chump or not. And we'll play the Marmoset and have cycle ability to make it a 4/3 double 4/3 first striker. And who? Fiend Artisan. Oh. 1/1 mythic. Assume no attacks. Just go ahead and cycle this. Just move like the gold. Go for blood. Interesting. So let's see what happens. I could play the Stinger and then cycle. I think I want to play the Stinger and cycle the Advantage Line. I think if I hit a land, I just win. Not quite. So we'll attack with everybody. Right. Well, no, maybe just these two at forced chump blocks. So I don't want them to just straight beat Momentum Rumbler. Sure, chump. And I guess we hold this Go for Blood. Seems like it's in a tight spot. Ooh, what's the deal of the day? Deal of the day is Priest of the Forgotten Gods. Not really something I'm going to spend my very hard-earned gems or gold on. It is very cheap, but I just don't care about this. This I like sort of care about, even though Perforos is not like constructed playable. Why did that pop up now? I'm not arguing with it, I'll take it. But I don't know why that would pop up at this point. Sure, I'm in for this hand. You're gonna feel the sting, that's for damn sure. Nice. So play out this, and then Snare Tactician, and then probably the next turn another Stinger and cycle something. Tap down their guy, get in for 4. This is gonna be a hard thing for them to block. That's the perfect pet. Tough for them to erase as well. Definitely feel like we're the beatdown on this one, but you never know. Okay, I think I want to swallow whole the door out here. Will mean we miss our land drop for this turn. This thing can get pretty scary. And we have to hit it while it's tapped, so... Also... Well, we could fight that. I do want to do like the little arena check to see if they have something up, because I don't really want to fight in that case. I think what I'm going to do is just play a stinger and cycle and nug them for 3. They are getting priority, so I'm just going to have the cycle. Okay. No attacks. Just want to keep cycling and nugging him for 3. Especially the blue-red, they don't gain life at all, so it's they have no way to catch up on life total except by just killing us. Dreamtail Heron, okay, that's fine. Still just one blocker. They do draw a card. I assume they can't attack. Alright, well, let's go ahead and cycle you. I think if we draw another one that cycle, we're just dead. Is that right? Yeah. We would have put them to 4. But in this case, just go ahead and play out a Marmoset. And then next turn, we can probably kill him. This still has first strike and can get bigger, but okay, that's definitely nice. I think we cycle first. Matters. Okay. So yeah, we attack. If they don't block Marmoset, they just die. Don't think there's anything they can actually do to interact. Yeah, 4 plus. You and you. Take 8. Out of that. I would have been very somewhat disappointed if this deck did not get at least 4 wins. So I will not be mildly disappointed, at least. You might be. Expectations just create feel bads. Try to get my Zen on. Have no expectations except, you know, make reasoned decisions about what my opponents are likely up to. I guess we keep this. It's not great, for sure. Doesn't do anything, but it wants to do things. I just want to draw more cards. It draws more cards. Okay. So we're just going to cycle one of these wills on their instead. So it's kind of weird. It looks like... so the draft pods are just everybody. You just play our threat out. Like, they can kill it, but... It's very awkward the draft pods can be made out of just everybody who plays Premier Draft, and then, but you're being paired against people who are of similar rank to you. So, like, the good players are like, oh, I definitely want to play this sweet cycling deck. So you end up facing it quite a bit here. Okay. So I want to kill that thing. My path to do that is to fight as one my Spell Eater Wolverine, make it indestructible, and then we fight. That's a little bit underwhelming. It's not the best turn. One of my alternatives would be to play Stinger and cycle a Vantasaur. Yeah, I think that's just what I want to do. Kind of stinks, but probably also forces them to chump or take 8 this turn. Assuming they have a cycler. Oops, not you. You. You fight you. I assume they have a cycler. Startling development. They had a cycler. So we did have to kind of 2-for-1 ourselves to kill this thing. That did also turn on the Spell Eater Wolverine, so not entirely a 2-for-1, but definitely not great. They are going to pretty much need a removal spell for this. Okay. They're going to slam into the reflection. This thing is scurry. It's a 5/4, right? So the Fire Prophecy is not at its best. Alright, so we're going to be chunking in for looks like 6. I don't think I want to do something crazy. I think I want to play the Stinger and cycle. Get some one more point of damage. Draw Splendor Mare. Okay, that's interesting. getting this thing light could be a real big swing. Forbidden. Probably should have cycled before leaving the friendship, but it's likely that he did that anyway. Alright, so no blocks will go to 9. This friendship's actually quite awkward in that when they chump block my double striker, if I was planning on gaining life with this, I would not so much. Let's go ahead and attack. I assume this is forced as a chump, and then I think I'll play the Splendor Mare. Yeah. There's a lot of ways this goes wrong for us. We could just die next turn, potentially. Yeah, this is not great. The reflections that get in. Okay. So obviously we have to block. So I'm going to watch carefully to see if they get priority after they declare attacks. So they have one other one-mana cycler that's going to factor into my decisions. Okay. I think this is probably correct for them, because I would want to put this Splendor Mare on that. All right. So we have to block or we die, and we have to block with the Splendor Mare or we die. Question is whether you want. Yeah. I think we're gonna have to double block here. Just we have to kill this thing, and it does gain us some more life. We're definitely in a very awkward position. Mantisaur is not exactly what I wanted to draw. I don't know what I wanted to draw, but that was not it. Cycling it now doesn't really affect my future decision. That doesn't limit my other decisions because I wasn't going to like swallow whole this. So we have to leave this back on defense, and potentially we can use this to pump it up or whatever, but we definitely can't attack. And if they have a Zenith Flare or something, we're definitely dead. But so what does that get back? It gets back Startling Development, I guess, which turns on this. So that attacks, that attacks, that attacks, they take 1. I basically have to hope they just don't have a cycler, I think. Kill this. I didn't have a cycler. What of this can I do? I guess the momentum rumbler? I could just keep them all. It's not the worst. So to Wolverine. And now I just want to get rid of everything. I should have thrown away the swallow. Just like it was at this point, it's clear that if they have tapped creatures, I'm just dead. So it's not great. At this point, I just have to play the momentum rumbler and just hope they have nothing. We can like trade these and then try to get somewhere. Like if I cathartic reunion, discard swallow whole, will of the all hunter. What does that do for me? What can I draw into? I can already use my fire prophecy. Put me out of my misery. I'm still alive. I'm alive. I'm alive. Okay. And we can fight the Stinger and leave up Will of the All Hunter. Or we could Cathartic Reunion first, discard these two. That seemed reasonable to me. Start. No attacks. Not sure if that was right. I think I was just not supposed to fight. I think I was just supposed to fight, and then I was just supposed to fight and hold up my combat trick, which would have actually been very good on defense. I feel like I'm just dead here. Okay. So I have to block somebody. It would either be trading with the Wolverine or jumping with the Rumbler. Maybe we just have to trade off Wolverines. Yeah, I don't think we can beat that. Unless, maybe if we drew a Zenith Flare there, but as is, we're just... say if they can't activate this and they attack with everybody, I guess we're not dead. It's looking pretty good. Alright. 4 and 3. We faced the red-white deck 3 times, which is Not the way it's supposed to go, but oh well.